costs incurred by us bringing them back.
Right, that would be our cost at that point in time, and it would be borne by whatever project or plan that we have related to putting it back into service. Really, the conditions are right, that there would be a requirement that they be kept in good operating condition. As Chris noted, there is a maintenance facility that stores these cars and offers the maintenance of them. Lance, anything else you might add?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that we have a term sheet right now, which just sets out the general idea behind the transfer. We still have to finalize, negotiate, and execute a final binding agreement to do this. So all the details regarding maintenance and things like that will get still worked out.
But it is our intention to maintain all of this.
So,
How much did it cost when we bought them originally?
We have a history sheet attached to that, and I'm not going to remember it.
I have it,
They were, first of all, they awarded maybe Dan, maybe you could come up here.
may I help
The
you out?
contract was $923,000 in March 1989, 80% FTA funded.
is that one more time?
That was for the two that we're talking about.
So 923,000 for two, so 450,000.
And you said 80% funded by FTA?
Yes, that's correct.
So then, if they're sitting there doing nothing, not being used, unfortunately, then we are obligated to return those
We could
funds.
be,
Could be.
and that would be a call of FTA, but I would tell you that they were a bit nonplussed when they found out they were being operated, because this whole term sheet has been started has been under review by really three parties in a very complicated transaction. Like St. Louis trying to, with the help of Vintage Trolley and then the FTA making sure that they're along with us for the ride, so to speak.
And is that manufacturer still in existence back in Iowa?
Yes, I believe they are.
And how much do you ballpark project the savings for TriMet and efficiency by having that barn opened up underneath where it is? Ballpark's fine, you know.
This would be very ballpark, but I don't know that I can give you that it will save us a great deal of money, but I think what it will do is improve reliability by reducing response times. And so what that means is better service for our riders.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Okay, so then, is there a motion to approve resolution 13-12-73?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion?
I'll second.
Okay, a second. Director Stovall. So further discussion on this, by the board, Travis?
You know, decisions like this, I mean, they have a huge emotional piece to it because it's something that's historical, something that we all enjoy, and I can certainly appreciate that. You know, we've heard from a couple of folks that have been deeply engaged in this for many, many years and have been good stewards of these cars and good stewards of the program. And while, you know, our dedication and looking at all of these pieces of what we've got to make decisions on is pretty vast. We really have to lean on, you know, some of the folks that have been in place for a long time, helping shepherd this whole process through. And so listening to them and listening to their excitement about putting these cars into use in the city of St. Louis is something that certainly I've got to listen to as a board member and really look to them for that direction and their guidance on that, and they've been supportive of this. And again, we certainly do like to have processes that are open and transparent and listen to the public also. And so I'm going to be supportive of this resolution as to look forward as to help the city of St. Louis and they're moving forward. Also listen to what the FTA has said. They've been a great partner over the years, and we want to continue to work with that partnership long term and listen to them as they want to take care of some of these assets that we have. So I am going to be supportive of this resolution.
I guess just to state kind of where I am too, having worked with Bill Nato for a number of years, I think he would feel really good this region helping out another region of the country begin a legacy, maybe if you want to call it, of rail and streetcars. So I really think this is a great opportunity for Portland to frankly export some of its learning and some of its expertise to St. Louis, and I'm hoping maybe some of the folks who testified maybe could be invited back to help St. Louis get their system off the ground. So I'm supportive of this resolution. I think it does provide opportunities for TriMet in terms of better service provision. Look at the Steel Bridge being right close there, and the amount of times we would like to have our resources closer to that. I think this is a good solution, and it doesn't preclude these from coming back. And they are reproductions. It's not like they are the original vehicles, which I think would even have more emotion with it if we start talking about that. But I understand that this is can be controversial. I understand that not everybody's going to concur with the decision, but I think it's a good decision and the right decision for the region here and also for St. Louis. So, any other comments by the board? Okay then. All those in favor of the motion to approve resolution 13-12-73, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion is approved unanimously. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Let's move on and try to move through these remaining agenda items. Resolution 13-12-74, which is authorizing a contract with CH2M Hill Corporation of Florida for engineering design services for Max Blue Line Station Rehabilitation Project.
Board President, members of the board, you might recall that as we have put together our capital program, a component of that is between $2.5 million a year for years, I think, coming to actually come back and retrofit some of the blue line stations that actually between the Hollywood Transit Center and again, our design standards have changed over time. We've learned a lot about how to design safe, well-lit, comfortable passenger platforms. We've also learned a lot about how to control those platforms, potentially creating fair zones. So what this would do is actually begin to hire an architect, that engineering services that would provide the engineering and architectural support over time, over the next few years, to design those retrofits as they are noted. Some of those retrofits are noted in or illustrated in the attachments to your resolution. They include the way the platform is transparent, they include lighting, and they include fair zone enforcement and security enhancements. Through the procurement, this is a Brooks Act procurement, which means that because federal funds will be used, the selection is based on qualifications. Based on that, we then negotiate the actual contract value with the selected firm. If we're unsuccessful with the top rated, we go down the list. But the most qualified firm by our selection panel was CH2M Hill. Again, local staffing, local office, even though they say of Florida, that's the corporate, the people that we'll be working with are locally sourced. I also note that they have been very successful with us in other projects, so they have a very good track record with us. I also note that they are committing to about a 12% disadvantaged business participation, which is a good number for professional services at this time. So the total contract value would be $1.9 million, not to exceed, but it would be doled out in task orders over time as you approve the projects to go into the capital improvement program for the annual budget. So this really sets up the capability to do the projects over time from an architectural and engineering standpoint. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer those, so we do that in
Mr. General Manager, if I may, Mr. President, I would just like to know, and perhaps this is something that you can do later, notice that we've done quite a number, not an extensive number, but a few numbers of contracts that result in quite a bit with CH2M Hill. And it's always what they expect to obtain. Since they have been doing work for us, what have they done?
Okay.
Have they gotten 1%? Or they're at 3%? What are they trying to do to go beyond that, besides just saying that we expect to obtain? We want to see that track record on that, and it does raise some concerns for me about that, but also raises concerns that when we have a company that has done for us so much, are they having an inside track in terms of our evaluating just because we know what they can do as opposed to newcomers who we don't have anything to base it on? So I would be very interested in knowing what the track record has been and what they're doing to attain on each of the projects.
We can get back to the dogs with the specifics, but I would tell you fundamentally, we've been very pleased with their efforts because it's not just DVE consulting or subcontracting that they do. They also have an internship program and they also participate in mentorship programs. So across the board, I think they've been a very good contractor. The other thing I would notice is the other two firms that we have that were had submitted proposals to this are also particularly Waterleaf, a frequent contractor for us, one of the surface contractor that we've used a number of times, but most, again, evaluation talent of the most qualified was reached. But we'll get the specifics for you.
Whoever decides upon the firm, the architectural firm, there could be some firm that has special qualifications, they've done others around the country, or
This firm,
Frank Gehry.
and these individuals that were proposed actually have done a number of work conversations for us, as well as for other transit projects.
Any further questions?
Okay. Is the board ready now to entertain a motion, approving resolution 13-12-74? So motion, is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Further discussion on this one?
Yeah, I want to follow up to what the good doctor mentioned, and I'd like to see that too.
I'd be happy to do that.
You know, there's a lot of, I know they're huge, they're worldwide, and they've done great work here in town. But anything you can show us shortly, or after we all fall out?
We can do that very quickly.
All right. Very good question. All right, and all those in favor of the motion to approve resolution 13-12-74, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion approved unanimously. Moving on then to the last resolution, resolution 13-12-75, which is authorizing a modification to the contract with Hoffman Construction Company of Oregon for renovation of the Center Street building. Mr. General Manager.
Yeah, Mr. Board, members of the board, recall that we have been doing a lot of work with this contract over the last year, and we have built it in a CMGC style with a series of layers and a series of modifications over time as design has progressed and as the contractor has time to actually review the design plans with us and to actually price it and get very hard prices on this. In this regard, this is the last element of major change associated with this contract, and the last model that we intend to bring to you. It is for the first floor, which is the operator report area for the most part. I would just note that the design of this area was subject to a great deal of involvement by a number of employees. We had an expert outside firm come in and actually talk to the employees and managers of the use of the space about how best to align that space and to remodel it. And so based on that, frankly, there have been some things added. I would also note that there have been some adds that are included in this first floor number that really relate to the rest of the building. And they are sort of your typical remodeling problems, which is that as you upgrade a building, for example, there are certain elevator upgrades that we didn't plan at the very start that are now required by code. And there are other, if you will, chains of events that we follow that have additional costs. All of that's wrapped into this. And overall, what I can report to you is that the Moving Together program, as we called it, this whole program of rehabilitating space for new uses as well as centralizing the administration in one new space at Harrison Square, is under budget and will actually be able to return funds to the general fund at the end of the day from this overall effort. So while this particular item was a bit over our initial estimates and budget, but not estimate for the budget for this, overall we saved enough money to make sure that we cover all those additional costs. And So with that, I would recommend approval of this modification. Again, it is increasing the amount by $2.9 million, the total contract value of $23 million, and it would include also 10% change order allowance of $292,000. I might note that Hoffman has been doing an incredible job of this business contracting. The current ratio on this is about 25%. And a lot of small firms, which we're very pleased to see, and they are on track to continue that record for the rest of the project. So again, with that, we recommend approval.
Questions of staff? Is there a motion to approve resolution 13-12-75?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? All right, all those in favor of the motion to approve resolution 13-12-75, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved again. All right, let's move on to the ordinances. First ordinance is ordinance 331, which I'm going to ask our general